Davis, and I'm going to be speaking to you guys about the Black Lives Matter movement, in particular the Freddie Gray story in regards to police brutality. How many of you have actually heard of the Freddie Gray story? Okay, so 3 of you guys. That's good. So imagine having a young brother, father, cousin, or friend dying by the hands of people that are supposed to protect you. Police brutality is wrong in any race. However, amongst African Americans, police brutality is becoming more common. From Eric Garner to Freddie Gray, Black lives are being unlawfully taken away. The Black Lives Matter movement is on the rise. Thousands of people are fed up and are willing to sacrifice their life for justice. So the 3 topics I'm going to discuss are the Black Lives Matter movement, police brutality, and lastly, the Freddie Gray story. So the Black Lives Matter movement, it is a call to action and a response to the violent anti-Black racism that permeates our society. When we say Black Lives Matter, we are broadening the conversation around state violence to include all of the ways in which Black people are intentionally left powerless at the hands of the state. It was created in 2012 after the Trayvon Martin incident. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that, when he was killed by George Zimmerman, and Zimmerman was acquitted for. So the Black Lives Matter movement has been tracking a few incidents that took place in regards to police brutality. A few of them are the Michael Brown incident that happened in Ferguson, Missouri back in August of 2014, the Tamir Rice story that took place in Cleveland, Ohio back in November of 2014, the Eric Garner story that took place in Staten Island, New York City, that happened back in July 2014, and my story in regards to police brutality, the Freddie Gray story that happened in Baltimore, Maryland. So I'm going to jump into the police brutality. What exactly is police brutality? It's the use of excessive and or unnecessary force by police when dealing with civilians. And when I say excessive force, I mean a force well beyond what would be necessary in order to handle a situation. The most obvious forms of police brutality is a physical form. Police officers use nerve gas, batons, pepper spray, and guns in order to physically intimidate or even intentionally hurt civilians. These statistics are going to display the excessive force, and then it's going to break down into the excessive force by type. And as I mentioned earlier, physical excessive force is the #1 in regards to police using excessive force. So, for the first one, of all 1,575 officers involved in reporting excessive force complaints, 56.9% were involved in cases of physical use of force complaints, which includes fist strike, throws, chokeholds, baton strikes, and other physical attacks. And that's displayed right here, that 57%. And then for this one over here, of the 6,113 law enforcement officers involved in reported allegations of misconduct that met the NPMSRP criteria for tracking purposes, 1,575 were involved in excessive force reports, which were the most prominent type of report at 23.8% that you guys see at the top. So out of all the allegations and reports that were reported in regards to police, as you see, sexual misconduct, fraud, theft, false arrest, excessive force was at the top, which is not good. List of the common rationalizations that officers use to neutralize or excuse unethical conduct. Basically, these rationalizations are just nothing more than excuses that police use to back up why they participated in police misconduct. So you have denial of the victim of circumstance, denial of injury, advantageous circumstance, a higher call. Some police even blame victim. They even go to the point of dehumanizing the victim and diffusion of responsibility, which means that they put all the blame on someone else. They don't take responsibility into their own actions. So now I'm going to jump into the Freddie Gray story in regards to police brutality. So I'm sure you all are familiar with the Freddie Gray story. Are you guys familiar with that story? Okay, that's great. So basically on April 12, 2015, Freddie Gray, he was a 25-year-old African-American man. He was arrested by the Baltimore police and he later died. Gray died from a severe spinal injury a week after being arrested by police following a foot chase in a neighborhood. It wasn't clear why he ran when he saw the police. The officers said that they found a switchblade in his pocket upon his arrest. And the initial reason for them pursuing Gray was they made eye contact with him and he proceeded to run. So they felt like that was a cause for them to pursue him.
So was the arrest actually a false arrest or was it real?
Initially, everyone thought the arrest was a false arrest because they had no grounds or probable cause, but once they detained Carlos, they saw that the switchblade was actually illegal under Maryland's law. So when they initially pursued him, they didn't know he had a blade, so it would have been a false arrest. But then once they found him, they found that reason to justify their arrest, which was the switchblade. And the only reason the debate was so strong about the knife was because it had the spring in it. The only way the blade would be considered illegal is if it has the spring, and his had that spring in it.
Okay.
So they didn't win that part.
So that was the only thing
That was the only
yeah.
thing that really played an impact, his knife having that little spring in. You know the spring is what allowed the automatically pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the rest was not false. Police brutality is unethical and immoral. It saddens me to know that we put our trust in people that have unlawfully killed our own people. Although there is psychology behind some acts of police brutality, it is still unacceptable. Freddie Gray was one of many victims who died as a result of police brutality. I am thankful for the movement Black Lives Matter that it has been created to bring awareness to police brutality